Welcome to AI World TV, your go-to destination for everything artificial intelligence. Discover the captivating landscape of AI, where advanced technology finds real-life application. Subscribe to AI World TV for webzine articles, reports, podcasts, videos, live events, and latest trends. Hear from top industry leaders and discover how AI is transforming industries and our daily lives.
We hear so much about AI changing things, different fields, but today's deep dive, this one could potentially touch so many lives. Just imagine, a future where Alzheimer's disease finally hits a real roadblock.
Yeah.
And according to this really compelling article in AI World Journal, dated just this week, actually, May 17th, 2025, AI just might be that roadblock.
Absolutely. And this isn't just, a small step. The article paints it as a potential big shift.
A sea change, almost.
Exactly. Where AI wasn't just crunching numbers, it was instrumental in finding a possible cause of Alzheimer's and even suggesting a way to maybe tackle it.
Wow.
It's a really strong example of AI moving beyond just looking at data to actively, solving problems in medicine.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The article mentions this major discovery by an international team. You've got MIT, University Cambridge, and this company Neurocure involved.
Right.
But what's really striking is that it wasn't just human insight driving this. It was the AI's sheer power to sift through. Just massive amounts of information. What did this AI approach actually find?
Well, what's pretty remarkable is the sheer scale and complexity of the data.
Right.
The AI was set loose on decades of Alzheimer's research, looking at the genetics, so genomics, the proteins in brain cells, that's proteomics, and just tons of clinical data, too. It's like, imagine trying to read every single book on a subject ever written and then finding some hidden link no one else had ever noticed.
So like a super detective for biology, digging through this data mountain for clues everyone else missed, and it focused on something specific, a protein and inflammation.
Precisely. The AI spotted this previously kind of overlooked relationship between a protein called PTK7 and signs of inflammation in the brain's nerve cells.
PTK7, okay.
Yeah, and while PTK7 wasn't totally unknown, it definitely wasn't like a top suspect in Alzheimer's development.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. Dr. Elena Zhu, the lead researcher, she's quoted saying the AI connected dots we couldn't. She said the AI flagged this PTK7 protein because it seemed unusually active right in the early stages when cognition starts declining.
Yes.
And its interactions with immune cells looked like they were actually helping break down brain cells. So this background protein suddenly becomes a potential key player.
That's the core of the breakthrough, yeah.
Yeah.
The AI model showed that in people with Alzheimer's, PTK7 seems to get, hyperactive.
Goes into overdrive.
Kind of. And the thinking now is that this hyperactivity might set off a chain reaction, triggering immune responses that, instead of helping, actually make the brain damage worse.
Yeah.
Like a faulty alarm system causing more chaos.
That's a really interesting mechanism. So the AI didn't just find a suspect, it started figuring out how it might be causing trouble. But you said it didn't stop there. The article implies it suggested a way to intervene.
Yes. And this is where that active discovery part really shines. The AI didn't just point and say, look, this protein's dodgy. It went further. It analyzed the exact molecular structure of PTK7, its shape, basically.
Okay.
And then it cross-referenced that structure against these huge databases of known chemical compounds, drugs, molecules, and what they do in the body.
So it was like an incredibly smart search engine looking for an existing key to fit this new lock.
Exactly like that. And based on all that complex analysis, the AI suggested...
You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
That a specific group of drugs, small molecule inhibitors,
Okay.
that are actually already approved and used for some rare cancers, might work to sort of dial down PTK7's activity in the brain, too.
Wait, really? Existing cancer drugs?
These specific inhibitors, yeah. They're designed to block certain proteins, and the AI saw a potential match, a way they might affect PTK7 based on its structure.
That's incredible. Using drugs we already have that we know are relatively safe for other things, potentially repurposed for Alzheimer's just based on AI analysis. And the article mentioned some positive animal studies.
It did, yeah. Very encouraging early results. They tested these inhibitors on mice bred to show Alzheimer's-like symptoms. And the researchers saw, notably, less brain inflammation in those mice. And crucially, less memory loss compared to untreated mice.
Wow, that feels really significant. That quote from Dr. Zhu really hits home. It's not a cure, but it's the closest we've come to halting the disease in its tracks. That gives you a real sense of hope, doesn't it, for something that's felt so unbeatable for so long.
It really does. And if you step back, look at the bigger picture, this discovery just underscores how powerful AI is becoming in medical research.
Yeah.
For ages, AI has been helpful in diagnostics, spotting things earlier, more accurately.
Sure, image analysis, things like that.
Right. But this shows its potential to actually drive new understanding of how diseases work, fundamentally, and even suggest concrete ways to treat them.
And when you layer on the sheer scale of Alzheimer's, what did the article say? Over 55 million people globally?
Yeah, over 55 million.
Yeah.
And the economic cost is just mind-blowing, over $1 trillion every year.
It just highlights how desperately we need exactly this kind of breakthrough thinking.
Absolutely. Dr. Miguel Alvarez, he's the chief medical officer at Neurocure. He calls this a historic turning point. He really emphasizes AI's ability to tackle diseases that have felt, well, unsolvable for so long. He even talks about ushering in an era of precision neurology.
Precision neurology, I like that.
It's a bold statement, definitely. But looking at these findings, it feels like a pretty big step in that direction.
So what happens next? What's the timeline look like? The article mentioned near-term steps.
That's right. The AI World Journal report suggests the plan, or maybe the hope, is for human clinical trials to start possibly late 2025.
Okay, so next year, potentially.
Yeah, but of course, that all depends on getting the green light from regulatory bodies, like the FDA here in the U.S., standard procedure.
Right, so there's obviously a lot of excitement, a buzz around this, but also that necessary scientific caution, early days still.
Always. Got to be cautious. We need to see how these inhibitors actually perform in people, not just mice.
Human biology is always more complex.
Exactly. Lots of unknowns still. But the fact that AI identified a new target and suggested a possible treatment using existing known drugs, that could really speed up the whole drug development pipeline, which is usually incredibly long and expensive.
That's a really good point. It feels like this research could represent a real shift, a new paradigm for how we approach neurodegenerative diseases. AI analyzing these huge data sets, finding connections humans might just miss. That could be the key, couldn't it? In fighting Alzheimer's.
It really could. It shows AI's potential not just to, boost human intelligence, but maybe reveal basic biological processes we just haven't grasped yet.
Right.
And that could open doors for completely new ways to understand and treat not just Alzheimer's, but maybe a whole bunch of other complex diseases too.
Oh, okay, so let's wrap this up. This deep dive into the AI World Journal piece, it's really highlighted a seriously compelling potential breakthrough for Alzheimer's.
Definitely.
AI playing the central role, identifying the PTK7 protein as a possible trigger, and even pointing towards using existing cancer drugs, these small molecule inhibitors, as a potential way to slow it down or stop it.
Exactly. This data-driven discovery, it just shouts about the growing, maybe even transformative role AI is playing in medical research now, offering real insights, potential treatments for conditions like Alzheimer's that have been so tough.
It definitely makes you think about the wider picture, doesn't it? AI and science overall. If it can help unravel something as complex as Alzheimer's, what other huge medical mysteries might be next?
And that leaves a big question for you, the listener. Could this actually be that turning point we've all been hoping for with Alzheimer's? And thinking even bigger, what other biological codes out there might AI be ready to crack next, leading to things we can barely even imagine right now?
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.